So today we'll be reviewing the Harmoni standing desk, a work from home desk designed to sit on top of your table for easy and more flexible working and standing. Now I've used it for 30 days and I wanted to share my thoughts on the experience, the good, the bad, and everything in between. This review isn't actually sponsored. The unit was sent over for me to test, and obviously I want to share my opinion on the experience. If you did want to check out my Medium writing, you can in the link in the description. So let's start the review with the design aspects. Now, obviously the first thing to note is this actually comes in separate parts. You have to put this together every time you use it if your intention is to take it down every single time. But it stays on top of any table, and what's great is you can use the little cork pad to place on top of the table to not damage wood against wood if that's the case. Now it's fairly easy to put together, and each time you do it I think it gets a little bit faster, and I actually clocked myself doing this at about 2 minutes roughly, which wasn't too much time each morning to put it up. Now, whilst I was using it, I was working from home and I was using the kitchen, so I had a reasonably sized table to put it on. So just make sure that the dimensions of the length once put together actually fits your table. Now, obviously, once you've set it all up, you get a keyboard stand and you get the stand to put your laptop on top of. And as you can imagine, you can line that up to where you're looking. Now, obviously, there's some data around standing desks and how it can improve your or reduce your sedentary experience across the day. So I will link a video to Med Insider below to sort of overview all of that. So let's take a look at the features. Now, one thing I really like about this standing desk is you can adjust the different positions. So what's ideal is you can change the keyboard position and also the position of the laptop, which is perfect because some people might like slight alterations to that. And there is also a sitting mode, which you can use as well if that's something you want to do, if you want to change up between sitting and standing. Now, apparently the raw materials were sourced sustainably from European forests. However, the unit itself is actually handcrafted in Toronto from strong and sturdy wood. And that's something I'd have to say about the unit is I believe that they sent me the basic unit, not some of the other wood units that they do have, but this actually was pretty sturdy, and using it I didn't feel like it was going to fall over, although I'll come to an experience that I had near the end of this video. So you're probably curious about the pricing. Now actually normally it's priced at £220, which is a little bit in the sort of premium pricing, especially because this isn't actually a fixed standing desk unit. You don't get the other half of it, it has to go on top of something. But I found that their sale price tended to be between £150 and £175, and obviously there are alternatives out there in the market. Now I noticed that they had two other versions, and the walnut oak version being the £350 unit, but that was also reduced when I went on the website. You can also get other accessories for this, the bag being £60, the balance board being £60, and the cork mat for the floor to reduce the amount of pressure that your feet has on the ground at £40. So these are optional extras, but again, it does help the experience overall. Now, overall, what I'd say is I found the experience fairly good. The unit was sturdy, and what I quite liked about it is it packed away quite nicely in a bag. This was particularly helpful because I actually don't have a full desk setup at my house or when I was using it. So I was able just to open it up and set it up in the mornings, which was quite handy because I could tuck it away in the evening. Obviously I kept it up during the day, but during the evenings it was down and it was quite handy. The one thing that I found a little bit tricky was actually doing the sitting down setup all the time. Occasionally I wanted to sit down to do some things, and it worked well because obviously I was able to have the keyboard on the table, but also the laptop in line, which is perfect for your neck. But I found that actually one time I was doing it and I didn't do it correctly, and it sort of fell towards me, which is not a great thing. So it just takes a little bit of practice to set up. and just something to note. Now, overall, I would say the experience is really good for those who are more mobile. For example, those who don't necessarily have a fixed desk setup, or for those who are maybe traveling or going to different places and want to be able to use a standing desk. This unit can come with a bag, and one thing I'd say is the bag was pretty easy and it wasn't too heavy, although you would look a little bit weird going into a coffee shop or maybe even an open workspace with this in a bag. So who I would say it's not necessarily for are for those who want fixed setups. Now, standing desks are a rave in the market, and there are loads that are actually more fixed and sort of those that are there for a longer time. But if you're somebody that is just going to stay there, this is probably not suitable for you. Now, one thing I'd say is this is actually fairly well priced as well. Some of the standing desks that I've seen in the past, the ones that are fixed, are more in the £300 to £350 bracket. But I feel like this is a fairly healthy price, especially if you and your employees are looking to trial it out, or you routinely come in the office and you want to take your standing desk with you. The other thing I found as a minor note is that the cork pad that went on the table was actually fairly worn after a couple of uses, and it also did bend slightly, so that's just something to note. Now, all small experiences aside, I think this is a decent standing desk and it's definitely worth checking out if you're somebody that is routinely moving between places or just wants an easy, put together, put away experience for a standing desk. Thank you very much, folks, and I really hope you enjoyed today's video. You can check the links out to it in the description below, but this is my overview of using it for the last 30 days.